And we're live. Hopefully everyone can hear us. It's been, God, 6 weeks, 8 weeks? Welcome back to Lorelines.
Numbers.
Got Cobra on here, Neela, Arden, myself. Just wanted to have a show.
It's been a while.
It has been a long while.
Yeah, we took a break and a lot of things happened. So we have an overabundance of things to talk about. We probably won't get to all of it today, but that just means we'll have more for the next episode.
Absolutely. If you don't mind filling the air for a few minutes, I want to find out why I'm hearing the stream even though I'm not watching it.
That
Sure.
is very strange. Are your kids watching it in the next room?
That'd be funny.
No, so the big things that happened, of course, FanFest with an abundance of new information for Dawntrail. We got the complete trailer. We got the keynote with a ton of new information that I will be perfectly honest, I wasn't super hyped for Dawntrail until that keynote. And now I'm seeing stuff that has kind of grabbed me and I'm interested in it. And now there's things I'm curious about, things I want to dive more into. So I think this FanFest did a lot of favors for a lot of people who might have been kind of waffling on their interest. And the third lore book came out. So that's full of amazing information. So there is so much to talk about. Not even for the next couple of episodes, but probably until Dawntrail. So we can start talking about some of the things we've learned and some of the things we can extrapolate from this new information.
Yeah, I agree, especially about the keynote. I was really not feeling most of the previous fan fests, but now I'm like, okay, Solution 9, you have my attention.
I think that's partially what grabbed a lot of people's attention. For me, it was kind of like I've been saying for a while now that there's going to be a turning point in the story where this thing that they're presenting to us, oh, it's summer vacation, it's a lighthearted expansion. That's not how it's going to be the entire time. And there's going to be something that pops up that derails everything. And what's that going to be? And then they decided to unveil the entire northern part of Tyrol. And I was like, well, there it is.
Yeah,
Because we know, I was kind of curious because everything to me was pointing to a 7 based expansion with, the Cosmo Canyon allegory of Cerulean Canyon. We learn about in the Blue Mage quest. And I was like, yeah, but that's in the north. So are we really going to see that? And then they uncover the north. And then they gave us the Midgar allegory. And I was like, yep, there it is.
There it fucking is.
Yeah, and I know the lack of hard 7 content has been discussed before, but I think they're diving into it really hard this time. So they're saying, here's your 7 expansion. We've done the bit with the ancients. We have materia in the game, but now we're seeing locations in the game that could correspond. Because I believe from what I've seen, Solution 9 is up on a plate. It looks nothing like Midgar, which I think is a good thing. But I think it's going to get a lot of people hyped for this expansion, especially seeing Cosmo Canyon. If we have anything that sounds similar to Cosmo Canyon as far as music goes, so can please.
Yes.
I'm gonna be beside myself with joy.
Yeah, I'm a little iffy on if it's the city itself is on a plate, because my brain went to kind of the underground in Honkai Star Rail for some reason when I looked at it, and I was like, oh, it looks like it's underground, but I could see it being on a plate too.
I mean, I could see either. The only thing that makes me think about it being on a plate above is the dungeon we see a screenshot of where you're going up the mountain and it's all lightning ether aspected, so you've got that purple, the same as Solution 9. So that's kind of why I was like, oh, are these two things connected? Is this mountain how we get up there, or something like that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But no, I was very excited watching that keynote. So I think I don't even know where to begin. Root says if they harvest Levin, then being high up makes sense. I absolutely agree with that.
I would not be shocked.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
Sorry,
now
I had to do it.
update my downloaded map of the world.
I think
So,
it's
Neela,
really funny we got like the entire Tural map, but we still don't have
But no Ilsa
Garlemald
Bard.
covered.
you still haven't uncovered Ilsamar. At this point, I think it's spite.
Yeah, it might be spite
Yeah.
because certain someone has predicted everything about this.
You gotta give it to Synodic. He's just absolutely on fire with his predictions this expansion.
Yeah.
I
It's
couldn't
amazing to
believe
see.
Pictomancer was a thing. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it.
I wouldn't
They
have picked it.
derailed us with the green mage symbol. at
Yep.
the end. But now also we're gonna have maintenance tomorrow for 655, so we're gonna get the tail end of whatever's going on.
I have to say, I wasn't super excited about almost anything until I watched JP Fanfest here with you guys in chat. Cobe was there. I forget how many people from the crew were watching it, like adjacent to each other. But I was shocked that the patch was this soon after Fanfest. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I am gonna play because we're about to get some content in what, a day. But it was going to be like a week, and I'm like, oh dang, they timed that well.
They really did. I'm kind of surprised because it's going to be a lull. Like,
For sure.
I'm glad that they haven't dropped a specific date. And Yoshi P explained that because of the delay last time, he doesn't want to have that happen again.
Yep.
But I can go with a late July release. That's fine with me.
Synodics in chat. He says, "Lol." I have no idea what you're talking about. Lol. Yeah, sure.
I'm guessing they're saving Ilsabard for whatever they decide to do with Mericidia, which is really the only place left on the planet aside from Ilsabard. So Ilsabard is clearly part of Australia.
Well, I don't know if this is this too much of a stretch. Yoshida's told us that they're looking into having field instances again, and we have a wide open door with the end of the Bazir quest line. Do you think we're going to get specifically a continuation of that Evilise story and maybe get Landis up in Ilsabard?
I would like to see Landis, and I would like to see Corpse.
Yeah, I mean, that would be a good excuse to uncloud it,
They cannot talk about Corvus as much as they had and then never give it to us. I would be salty.
Yeah. Well, it is kind of odd that they mention it how many times in MSQ, and then we're waiting 2 years to see it.
It happens, but it's okay to like sort of see these things along. But there was so many of them. I was like, that's gonna be soon. Shows what I know.
I was laughing when these references were coming through the storyline because it reminded me. I'm sure I've said this before, but do you guys remember in Stormblood where like every 10th quest they would say "Storm of Blood" in the NA localization?
Yes.
Like, can you guys stop?
that.
Can you please stop? we get
They
it.
want to make sure you got the idea.
Yeah. Well, you have to go Heaven's Ward, and then you have to fight the Heaven's Ward. So don't forget about Heaven's Ward. So it's
And one
funny.
big shadow.
I like how we went to the to visit the 12, which is not exactly the heavens, but it's sort of like the heavens, and it had this beautiful sword of green grass too. Because when I first played Heaven's Word, I wasn't sure if it was like Heaven Sword or Heaven's Word.
Right, towards the heavens or the ward of the heavens. It's a
but
triple
sword is
entendre.
also a word.
Sward.
S-W-A-R-D. It's like a field of grass. I'm translating it poorly, but it's a thing.
Yeah.
Indeed, it says an expanse of short grass.
Yeah, that's like a lawn, basically.
How many jokes are you guys gonna make?
I don't think that one was intentional, but when I was playing, when I was still
Sea of
pretty new to the
clouds.
game,
It's in the heavens, and there's a lot of grass.
true. It was a sword in the heavens.
I love it. This is the deep cutting lore that everybody comes for.
It
Weird
was a sword,
words.
so we could have a sword in our ward while we were in the heavens.
Oh boy.
You stop.
So, taking bets in chat, Synodic, you might want to get in on this. You got a good record. How many times will we hear Dawntrail in Dawntrail?
Oh no.
That's an excellent question, and I think we need someone who's streaming it needs to have a counter.
I mean, to be fair,
It's probably
no,
three or four.
We heard about
6.
continuing forward and walking forward in Endwalker a lot, but we never heard Endwalker proper.
That's true.
So I kind of think that they're moving away from that. I
Maybe.
think we'll see, bringing the dawn and blazing a trail or something like that. But
You
I don't
actually
think we're
bring
gonna
up a
get-
really good point, because they did it, but they did it visually and they did it thematically with that final
Right.
walk at the end.
That was the
They
end
didn't
walk.
say it; they just did it. There was a show
Yeah.
don't tell moment,
It was
which
also the
I
lyrics in
love-
the song, unmissable lyrics.
hmm
I love Show Don't Tell, so I was very thrilled with that, which it was more of a thematic thing than saying, we'll bring a storm of blood or something like that. I did appreciate that, and that's something I think that Ishikawa did bring to the table very well, in both Shadowbringers and Endwalker, in that it was very much a show don't tell.
We need more of that in 14.
Agreed.
They've actually gotten, I think, a lot better. There was a lot of telling in ARR. I'm thinking specifically of that one slideshow that was very long and, excuse me,
The Leviathan
having a moment
stuff?
here. I was thinking of the how to evict an Asian one.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Oh,
There
yeah.
was
The
a
souls
number
going
of
from
examples.
Yeah, there were a number
Yes,
of
which,
examples.
in fairness, it's hard to work something very concrete and lore-ish like that into story.
I guess it was
it
a
can
little
be done.
clunky.
It'd be
It didn't
hard.
bother me too much, though. I don't mind going to school every now and again.
I think that
I
was
went
like
back
a
to watch it a few
holdover.
times.
Okay.
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I went back to watch it a few times, and I ended up recording it so I could fast forward and rewind through it instead of having to start over.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it would still hold over from how they handled a lot of things in 11, because you see that quite a bit in certain parts of Final Fantasy 11 as well. I think in ARR they realized that they had to like move away from that.
Interesting. That actually kind of makes sense. I wasn't aware of that, so that's neat.
Question in chat. Do we still need our white aurosite?
Yes.
Well,
I think
yes.
so. I think you don't file away your nuclear weapons if you might need them at some point in the future.
especially when
We've
we have
also-
Ascians unaccounted for.
We've also got our untempering beam now, hopefully.
Yeah, true. Copium.
Copium, yep.
So this is a bit of a tangent, but I got a black dog. He's a poodle mixed with a Doberman. He's going to be pretty big, probably hip height, and we named him Emmett after you know who. And
Amazing.
well, I'm wondering. He's whining a little bit right now, and I don't know if you guys can hear him, but I
No.
routinely say, hey, "Don't judge me," but dogs can be annoying sometimes, and I get to say, "Shut the fuck up, Emmett." It's awesome. So
Somewhere in the astral sea, he's going.
Yeah, I know a few people who have cats named Emmett or rabbits named Emmett. It's pretty great. Especially if you're a person who talks to your pets a lot.
yeah, he's such a good boy though. So I was wondering, should we go ahead and rewatch the new full trailer? Would that be a worthwhile venture?
I'm down.
You down? Anyone else? Cobb, I don't know if you're muted.
I've only seen it once, so it's not a bad idea.
You guys in chat, do you mind if we put it up for us?
Do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do it.
Do it. Just a minute.
Yeah, Dawntrail could be the name of a place, like a path in Thrall. leading
Oh,
from
for
one
sure.
place to another. It could be. It could be. It could be the Trail of Dawn.
Yeah.
You know, we could get a Final Fantasy X style plethora of trials, and that could be the Trail of Dawn or something like that.
Maybe we accidentally
Or
get the FF5
for the
intro song.
juxtaposition, the path leading up to Solution 9 could be Dawntrail.
Hey, we need new Warriors of Dawn, eh? There we go. Peggy 16. Where's the thing? There's the thing. I found the thing. Here we go. Hey, it works. It's nice when things work. All right, let's go ahead and hit it. It's too loud, not loud enough. Let me know.
All I can say is I'm glad they brought back the nut interference thing.
Oh, it's great.
Clear skies and boundless possibilities. I dare say our destination will soon be in sight.
Enjoying yourself for a change?
That smirk.
Come now. There's no cause for panic.
I actually really like this song, and I'm looking forward to the boss track that will go with
For a
it.
worthy opponent.
Sure. I remember seeing him while John here, like, turning Vegas Fanfest. I was like, "Your world!"
Yeah.
Awesome. Escape for everyone. Is anybody else looking to play Viper? I'm sure we all will, but in terms of really playing it.
I'll level it, but I'm
It
not.
really depends what they do to Dragoon.
I'm pretty sure I'm main tanking for Dawntrail again.
Yeah, I was leaning pretty hard on Paladin a couple months ago. Maybe I'll just level all the sword jobs first. Sugar apple. Not can.
Yeah, what Sandsperman said is absolutely correct. Just a reminder of things usually happen differently in the trailer than the expansion. Trailers tend to be misleading in Final Fantasy.
Man,
Yeah.
not even just a little bit. Fundamentally misleading. You will not glean anything from these.
That's not
The
true. You
trailers
will
are
glean
made
mistaken
way
impressions from it.
That's
What
true.
I see is I see a lot of uniforms in this trailer. More Aors and stuff. And they're all in the background.
Reminder that Emmett Selk was the gremlin in the Shadowbringers trailer, in my opinion. Because he's
Yeah,
the one
they-
who
they
says the
did
quote.
address-
He says the
Yeah.
quote in the story. So he's
Yeah, they
representing the
addressed how
gremlin.
that happened.
Okay.
So the trailers are all made in advance, like way in advance, off of like the base idea overview of what the expansion is going to be, and then the team writes, like finishes all their writing. So they thought it would be fun to give the Gremlins line to in itself.
Exactly. Yeah, I love it. It almost doesn't matter to me the order it happened. It's just
Yeah, it's too good.
Can I just say I love the visual style of how jarringly different it is from everything else.
Yeah, I want to know why we're getting Hui League of Legends in our.
yeah. I was gonna say this is Genshin Impact. Genshin graphics.
Started with Thaliak, don't at me.
It's really funny to me because League just released a champion who, like,
Look, my friends.
paints using his emotions and
Hold
stuff,
the
and I was
scene
like,
of our next
Dynamis!
great adventure.
And now we're gonna
Dynamis.
You and your adventures. I
trust you have not forgotten the true purpose of our voyage?
Someone way smarter than me needs to write a 50-page essay on the mimetic expression of themes and old myth in gaming culture and how they somehow constantly echo each other, even though nobody's in a boardroom planning together.
It's so true.
It's true.
I think it's. Well, I mean, I'll defend to the death that video games are art. Art is born of certain cultural, moment in time snapshots.
So that's fun. That's fun. It's been a long wait. It's coming up in another long wait.
Yeah.
But we have other stuff to do. And I can look forward to it. I'm finally excited.
This is the best part. This is the best part. This is the part where we get to speculate and talk about what we think might happen and what's coming up. For me, like the time between 655 and the expansion is the best part of the game.
I agree.
The golden period. What's next?
And then the next best part is the first 3 days of early access.
Right, yeah. Can I just say, I got to give it to the voice actress of Wuklamot, who has played the game since 1.0 and has been a fan and finally got to be a part of the game. I think that is so awesome.
Yeah, that is so cool.
Okay, so lots to talk about in that trailer.
I was going to ask who wants to play Pictomancer.
Oh, I'm going to play it, for sure.
I'll level it.
I'll certainly try it, yeah. We'll see how it feels, It's the aesthetic doesn't look like my thing, but sometimes gameplay is enough more fun that I do it anyway.
If I can find a not cutesy ooh kind of glam, then maybe.
Good luck.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a caster, and Black Mage is also a caster, so there is hope.
This is the company that designed the scholar's attire.
Fair.
Just in case you wanted to graduate. That hat. The fairy. The
that
art.
Hat.
Why? What's going on?
So, I know Yumi's not here, but I posted 2 pictures in the live chat. And I know we've been talking about the potential of this person popping up again in the game.
Yeah, I'll bring them up.
After 6 years. But this is a bit close for me. And it's either masterful misdirection or they're finally going to resolve this. And if they're going to resolve this, that means that there's a whole mountain of shit coming our way in Dawntrail, which is going to be amazing.
The really funny thing to me is it could be that person, or it could be Arciella from Final Fantasy XI, since we're getting our freaking colonization expansion now, like Adeline.
It could be. My thing is the eye color matches perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So I brought the image up.
Yeah, and then we have the Dawntrail poster, and she's at the top of the Dawntrail poster. So, it just, to me, it screams Ash, and we'd finally get a resolution for Bosja.
It's got to be. I mean, she was mentioned in the quest lines. I mean, this is a character that exists. They usually take a while, but they do eventually address characters that are introduced.
Which, if they're doing that, gives me a lot of hope, because I feel like a lot of that kind of went out the window because they introduced so much new stuff in Endwalker. And if they're circling back around and tying off a lot of these loose ends that they have, then I'll start to be like, okay, they're coming back. They're taking this stuff seriously. We're going back to Chekhov's gun. Okay, I'm in. Well,
this may go back to why before we went live, we talked a little bit about Criterions and how Alo Alo Island was fun, but not really our cup of tea. And I think you said something like they wasted the South Sea Isles on the Criterion dungeon.
They did.
So
I was expecting an expansion for that.
Right.
And we got a dungeon. So
I mean, maybe that's the good side. Maybe they are wrapping up the little speech from the end of
Yeah.
Endwalker, and we'll
Go
get
ahead
something
and zoom
fresh.
into that Dawntrail poster at the very top.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
You
I can see her.
eye
I don't
color
know if you
matches
can.
perfectly.
Let me change the other scene because that'll help. And I'm gonna see what I can do here. Hold on. Zoom. Reddit doesn't like to zoom. I don't think it's gonna cooperate. But I can do this.
There we go.
Maybe if I turn off the overlay.
With the title.
There. So, you can see her at the top. This is a, depending on what you're watching on, you might not be able to see it, but it looks a lot like Ashelia.
Like, say she grew her hair out for a year?
Yeah, like a year. It's not even that much longer.
Yeah.
And then, Arden posted these two in chat here, so I'm going to bring this one up.
Yeah, Arden's on the Arcelia. On the Arcelia train. So is Rogue, it looks like.
So,
AC Gears and Arms. I'll give you that one.
I figured the Dissidia Opera Omnia ones would be better because you can actually see their eyes in them. For whatever reason, that one's way smaller. But
green eyes.
mm-hmm.
hey, AC, that's a good joke. You always got good jokes. Thought that plot line was Ash.
Oh yes. Very nice.
There's a close-up.
Thank you, Cobb. Much easier to see this.
Yeah, as soon as I saw it, I was like, wait a minute. She being married to a Mumalja?
I mean, maybe.
I mean, technically, if she's in the Mumalja nation, she would be considered Mumalja too. It's a people, not a race.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
Maybe she's going to be our Yuna, and there's going to be a Momolja equivalent of Seymour.
Oh no.
Would? I mean, what?
If it is her, though, I am extremely curious to see how they integrate something that happened on the other side of the world into the new world and why. But I would be more than happy to see her again.
Maybe this is me going back on my Levin train, but maybe they take some cues from the like not sketchy parts of Adeline's story and just fucking fled there, moved there. It's kind of how the people in Adeline got to where they are now, is they used to live under one of the world trees, and the orcs burned their world tree, so they moved to where their seers detected another world tree, and that ended up being Adeline, and the tree spirits were like, no, you can't come further into our land. You stay on the coast and you'll be fine, or else we're going to turn you all into leafkin. But
Soaked in Wood Sin starts
migration.
Also, in case someone isn't aware of this, I don't think anyone in this chat is. The map of Aetheris is roughly analogous to Earth.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's always been. I mean, did anybody else not see Eorzea as Europe and Great Britain map-wise in ARR?
I mean, they even made the bland food joke for Charlian.
Yeah, and Garlemald is in the frozen north, and it roughly fits with Greater Russia.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
it's all... The east is in the east, It's like it's all...
It's one of the
roughly
very
Earth.
common tips for writers of fantasy if people have to make a actual world.
Yep.
Is take bits and pieces of Earth and rotate them and jigsaw them into new places, and you have your world map.
They rotated them 360 degrees.
What you're saying is you don't have to draw 3 potatoes and name it a new map. You've seen these poorly shaped,
I
weirdly
used to
conglomerate
follow-
maps, like the current. I've been playing a lot of Warcraft lately, but regardless, the Azeroth map is a mess. It's like it's a bunch of like various potato-shaped microcontinents. It's weird. It's weird.
Yeah. I used to follow a subreddit that went over fantasy maps that authors created and that people created just for D&D campaigns, and like picked out like which countries and continents they moved where to make their map.
I just want to show this on stream just so people who don't know now know. Where is this button, that button? There we go. All right, this will work. The Final Fantasy map is superior, for sure. Scene. Yeah. So this is what that looks like. That's the planet, apparently. Has anybody seen a planet like this before? So, I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, Synodic, I agree. I was under the impression New World was massive in comparison. Right now, it's roughly the size of Aldenard, which is kind of weird. At least the south and the north each. Which I was expecting this massive landmass that would be like the 3 great continents combined just in the south.
I'm on the copium that it's the whole like drawing a world map problem like we have with Earth. Like all the maps that you see for Earth are usually not correctly to scale. Yeah. That's my copium. It's just a trick of the eye. It's actually way bigger.
But have you ever tried to overlay the actual in-game maps to the world map?
No.
They work okay, but they're not one-to-one. So I kind of attribute it to the whole thing of, maps were only so accurate before we had satellite coverage, and I don't think they have any cartographers on the moon yet. So give it
5 years.
Exploration.
We got Loporritz and we got Urianger.
Which, by the way, can I say how absolutely shocked I was that we're getting Cosmic Exploration so soon? Did anyone finish all of the Crafter and Gatherer quests?
I did not.
It was basically the lead into that.
Interesting.
It was like, yeah, we're gonna go play Star Trek. It's fine. We just needed something to, test to make sure that we could do it and not die.
Yeah, I didn't finish those quests. I got decently far into them, but I was just kind of like, wait, they're putting cosmic exploration in side story content. Aw.
I mean, it fits there because they can introduce something there and then they can expand on it later. So I'm kind of okay.
Yeah.
With it. But I've said before, there's no side content in this game. Everything eventually circles back and becomes main story. So I'm kind of fine with it.
I too am on the copium.
Great Synodic. We're on the moon, yet we still have an unclouded board. Unacceptable. We have no idea what it looks like. It has a permanent storm over it. So
it's censored.
On the moon,
it's actually censored as the planet turns.
It's just got a atmospheric mosaic over it.
Yeah. It's like...
just a blob from the moon.
I love it. I hate it, but I love it.
You get banned on Discord for showing it.
It's ridiculous. I'm looking for this updated map, like a good version of it.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I did want to
having
look
a
at
really
that.
Hard time finding it too.
My impression of that was I'm sure it's just perspective, but when they added in the Americas, we're just going to call it that, it made Eorzea look a lot. What was it? There's something about the sizing and the scale of the different continents that it looked different, like they had changed something, but they've never like changed the size of a landmass before. Did anybody else have a weird impression when they saw the map? We should probably pull it up if we can. We can't find it.
I'd have to look at it again.
I can go back to the FanFest rip. It was like, yeah, let me see if I can find that video. Keynote, I think it was.
That's it, Rube, right there. It's the IsomoArt eye. Alien probes look at Ilsamard's white cloud storm the same way we look at Jupiter's eye. It's perpetual. It's always there. It'll last for 1,000 years.
Oh God! Please no.
That's funny.
I will say though that if you do someone made a video of the entire rotation of Aetheris from the moon. The cloud patterns don't really change. It's all a texture file. So.
It would be insane if it did. Like, that'd be a lot of work. It would look so good, but
Yeah.
Right.
It's a bit of an ask.
Having a lot of trouble finding this too.
It has decided it does not want to be compared.
Like, there's plenty of the maps from the last FanFest where it's just the south. I still remember the Stormblood FanFest when they unclouded Othard, and I was like, oh my god, more map!
Yeah, and the crowd screaming at the live reveal was fucking great. What is this, a picture for ants? I'm trying to find the big version of it, and it's just all small versions.
Who lives here?
Oh, here we go.
Aha! It's perfect.
Thank you for the save. I was actually looking for
a little fuzzy.
I was looking for the video of the of the keynote, and I was just gonna go to that timestamp.
Fair.
Last
I'll double
resort.
check if they uploaded it to the press website, but last I checked, they hadn't updated the press site for Dawntrail yet.
Got it.
Brug says, I need to watch the previous FanFest more thoroughly. The Othard unclouding moment sounds epic. It was. Unfortunately, it was in 2016, which was the paid-only FanFest, so it's not on YouTube.
So I have the new map up. At the top, you can read the 3 great continents.
Hey, Toshiro, welcome.
We've got Tural on the left.
All right, the press site has been updated, but they do not have the world map on there, it looks like.
Synodic Stripe should go as Viper next FanFest. I agree. Yeah, that was the big mistake they made in 2016, Rude, because all of the lore panels, and the lore panel that year was fantastic, is lost now. So we have like recaps of it, but not really anything in depth.
So can someone explain to me why Taral has just this great big fucking crack through it?
Meteor.
Sin.
I don't think a meteor would do that.
It's the calm lands.
Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? The gash that's splitting Taral in half.
Yeah, that's where they
Yeah,
killed Sin.
okay.
It's
It looks like someone just stuck a sharp object into the world and called it a day.
Ayumi walks in with his what sword shirt.
Like you can see it in the trailer. That's the big gash that the bridge is over.
Yeah.
Yeah. Aliens. It's always
That's
aliens.
not even out there anymore because now we know aliens.
It was
are out
Bahamut Zero.
Yeah.
Space lasers.
Different aliens. No, not those. No, not those either.
You know, maybe
right.
it's from that really, really interestingly Final Fantasy 13 looking trial that we're getting. Maybe that has a sword.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Freaking the Eliminator.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the first time we've seen a giant gash in the world. But yeah, it very much reminds me of, the Calmlands in 10, where there's a giant gash where, Braska defeated Sin.
Yeah, there's that, and there's some other very 10 looking things for this continent too.
Oh my god. Synodics had one thing, the mask stays on. I can just imagine how far that goes. Hilarious. But yeah. So 10 pops out as the most obvious example of that, but I know there's other ones where there's a huge, rip in the world like that.
Yeah. I think it's funny because Taral as a continent also reminds me of Spira if Spira had more landmass. I don't know if any of y'all remember what Spira's world map looks like.
It was.
I remember it was the first time I didn't have a world map. I had to select areas to fly to, and I hated it. But let's pull it up.
Yeah. Let me.
I got you.
Let me find one that's not tiny as hell.
I've got a bunch.
Okay.
Maybe.
The confidence. We love to see it.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to find the one from 10 too, because that one is decently easy, but here's this one.
Yep.
This one probably work.
Boop. How about this one here? Are any of these from what you're looking for, Arden?
Yeah, the top left one is the one that I put in live chat.
Mm-hmm.
And AC Gamers and Arms is on fire today.
That was weird. It doesn't. It looks very different. Interesting. Hold on a sec. Well, that would have been new. Say something, guys.
Nope.
Beep boop.
There we go.
Something.
Yeah, it's working.
Okay, cool.
That's weird. Well, my Discord had crashed, so just fucking.
How rude of it.
Yep, Scuffed Lines back at it again. Yeah, sorry guys. So they were talking about cool stuff, and you all missed it.
Yeah, we were talking about Solution 9 and the Alligans and how we don't think it's them.
Yeah. So the Solution 9, it looks high tech, but obviously doesn't look anything like the Allegan Empire, and so
I mean, yeah.
not really.
And we were talking about how it's heavily implied that Alligans left the planet and have colonies out there somewhere. But no, there's no mention of them ever going to the New World. Like, not even insinuated. And if they had, they would have probably tried to conquer it. So.
Makes you wonder why.
Indeed.
There we go. Finally got the picture I was looking for. Here we go.
Excellent.
Do we think that this is up near Solution 9, or do we think this is closer to the Gash?
Well, I see some sort of Grand Canyon.
Yeah, so that's Cerulean Canyon, which is the Cosmo Canyon allegory, and the secret is absolutely Solution 9. Because we actually see the train in the most recent FanFest. They show the train that is here in this image coming away from Solution 9. So if you look under the sea in secret, you can see the train heading away from the little mining town.
Interesting.
Let me see if I can pull it up. But yeah, this is the Cosmo Canyon allegory I was talking about.
I thought they had told us its name, but now I can't find it. So I'm like, did I just dream that?
They did, but I don't remember it.
Wonder how much they're going to take from... You know, I'm not too worried about them taking too much from these games anymore. They're the worst offender actually was the Endwalker patch content.
So I do want to talk about that, and I realize why it's bad.
Yeah.
So most of the stuff in 14 is taken from other Final Fantasy
Ultimately,
games.
but not usually wrote.
And I'm good with that because it's blended in. It's adapted.
Yes.
Whereas the patch content was literally just Final Fantasy IV stuck in the game. It felt really jarring and out of place, even though they were dealing with the void. It just felt like beat for beat the story of Final Fantasy IV. Whereas in other aspects, you had, the core theme from the other games, but it was adapted to be more 14.
Yes.
But instead, by having Golbez and the four fiends there, I was like, this is just Final Fantasy IV. And I feel like that really didn't do it any favors, even though I really appreciated them doing the Void storyline. That I felt really hurt it in that it went too far in that direction.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. Even though it wasn't a literal rip, there were differences, changes, thematic changes, pacing, obviously. But this is patch content in an MMO, and it's about as close as you can get from just copy-pasting another game.
Right, and it's still the Final Fantasy theme park, and I'm fine with that. It's just the way they've done it before has been really masterful, for lack of a better word, where it feels fresh and original, even though it's mixing themes and elements from other games. This, again, was just kind of regurgitating Final Fantasy IV.
I really enjoyed Troya, but I was very sad that it wasn't a permanent zone.
Same.
And I don't mean just the dungeon instance. I mean, there's room with that kind of staging to make a place you can visit, you know. And it's just, it's lost to the ether. You can run the dungeon, but you can't go back. You can't explore that way. And they didn't expand on it. They just kind of, and I felt the same way about Zero's domain as well. It's just not.
Yeah, I want to go back there.
Yeah, why can't, you know? So that's just, I don't know how I don't know how Square Enix would choose to allow us to go back, but I don't see any good design reason why they shouldn't have. Not just to walk around. I mean, this was an opportunity missed to me.
I agree.
So Rug says, Zero Arc is a blemish on the story department's image in my mind. And again, I enjoy Zero. I loved her scenes in Garlemald. I'm glad she was part of the team for a while. And I didn't have any problem with her as a character. But you're speaking about the arc, right, Rug?
The hat tipping did get pretty old pretty fast, though.
Yeah, but so did the fist bumping yourself in every cutscene and nodding.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Again, this is the game we play. They have like 3 emotes for these hero characters, and so it didn't bother me because it was just the tick they gave her. Yeah, Synotic says most FF references in 14 are inside content. This time it was in MSQ. That might be why it doesn't belong. Why that might.
I mean, yes and no. Most of the side content is a lot more blatant, but like the Ascian plot that was revealed in Shadowbringers is just Terra's plot in Final Fantasy IX, basically. Whereas they combine that with World of Ruin. And there you go. You got Shadowbringers and just flip light and dark. So it's like they kind of blend it in where it's a lot more seamless. The way aetherology works in the game is from Final Fantasy 13. And it's just a lot of little things that are easy to overlook because it's like, okay, we're going to take elements of this game and put them together and make a story out of it. Whereas, again, some side content and the patch content in Endwalker was just, here you go. There's a slide I'm looking for.
Oh, okay.
Try and find it with that picture of the train.
Train.
I like Train.
Oh, I really, really hope now that we have like a train that we can use that we get we get a selfie mode or a selfie mode. Train.
Interesting. AC. So in chat, AC Gears and Arms says, I was more dissatisfied with the final part of the Pandemonium raids.
Oh,
That's interesting. I actually really enjoyed the end of the epilogue.
man, that felt like a better send off
I-
for the ancients for me.
I'm with AC Gears and Arms on this one.
Yeah?
It feels like they set a bunch of stuff up and then just sort of went off into left field.
Okay.
I mean, the fact of the matter is, like, this is the purpose of stories. They're going to hit different for different people, but it didn't do much for me.
I mean,
I went from very excited at the first one to not very happy in the second one
Same.
to literally didn't care about the third.
Yeah, I thought they were able to
mean-
wrap it together pretty well with the epilogue.
Athena's plan was kind of garbage.
Yes. Yeah, no doubt, Synodic. Pandemonium lore is a mess, for sure.
Yeah, it really is.
But this is part of them changing the metaphysics and the history in Endwalker. You know, and like the meaning of what the ancients were up to, and
they did some retcon in there,
yep.
and we
Fuck
talked
shit,
about
as I
that.
like to call it.
What was that, Arden?
I said some fuck shit, as I like to call it.
Got it.
Yeah. One day I'll try and go back and, and try and iron everything out. So I'm like, oh, how did this happen again? Because that's not supposed to be able to happen. They weren't supposed to be there.
Eschatul says Athena wasn't exactly firing on all thrusters.
True.
Let's just assume her mind was broken by the old one, Ultima.
So I really want to do a video on, and I've talked to this, at length, that Hermes actually wound up saving humanity because of the whole Meteon thing.
Yep.
Because if not, the ancients would have had to deal with Ultima, and they were far less prepared for that.
Yeah, it's funny.
That's pretty true, actually.
Yeah.
But then, it opens up a whole bunch of new questions, like, what is Ultima? Where did it come from? And even though we have a little bit of lore, we don't really know.
Yeah, we're pretty much stuck on be afraid, be very afraid. You have never killed this. You've never met this.
You
Yeah,
cannot
we have
conceive
the
of
lore from
this.
the
Cannot
book.
conceive of this.
Front of the book figure. That's it. You make white rocks and make people crazy.
She was driven mad by a space rock. Spooky.
Exactly.
White rocks, you say?
Synodic.
Oh, Rug, I'm totally presenting it as a shit post. You'd be like, 100% the hero of the story, Hermes.
That's funny.
Kill
yeah,
yourself.
it's
or
true.
Ultima. Ha! We beat you to it. You can't kill us if we kill ourselves.
It's also, it's like, it's circumstantially true. It's not like he did anything
wasn't.
right. Like, he didn't do anything right.
Didn't do anything right. But the circumstances
Yeah.
made
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Like, in hindsight.
Maybe
Like, oh,
the
if we had
secret
done
is
this,
he
this
did
would have
everything right.
happened. Okay.
This is a complete tangent, but you know how much, those of you who watch way too much YouTube like me, how much re-releases and covers and performances by fans and also performances by the actual artists of Endwalker songs, you know, all this stuff, these videos that are constantly coming out from the artists. Has anybody wondered why or where the what's his name? The band that did Footfalls, where are they in this scene? They're just gone.
the
They're
architect?
missing. Yeah, they're missing. They're never. There's never any. I don't know how to phrase what I'm trying to say, but it's like they were hired for the project. They did the art, and that's it. You know, it's a one-off,
I
one and
think
done.
that's exactly.
Pretty much all it was.
That's all it was.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind
thought-
seeing one live performance. That'd be cool, I think.
It would be, but I suspect it's not going to happen.
I agree.
So if I posted the other image with the little train.
Oh, thank you. Let me switch scenes again. Heritage found.
Yep.
Now that is one goddamn pizza if I've ever seen one.
Right? Just like Midgar.
Yep.
But yeah, you can also see columns going up on the side there. So, who's to say there's not a mountain?
So for people who are not FF7 people, Midgar was a series of towns in the center of which Shinra Company built the reactor system to use energy from the planet to build a super mega city. And all these cities underneath became the sectors and the slums and all that.
And it was divided into plates. It was a big circle.
Mm-hmm.
So you had the upper level, which was the sectors, and then the slums underneath.
So what do we have here? We have a train. Final Fantasy VII has a train. We have a rundown village. We've got a high-tech plate on a pillar.
Plate.
Oh, I somehow missed this screenshot entirely.
Oh?
It must have been when Clarice was begging me to take her out.
Oh, during the presentation?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Cobb was saying the other one, oh, that's the Final Fantasy VII. And then he's like, no, this is the Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this will be fun.
So I do think we will have a Shinra-style organization. I don't think they're going to be as powerful as Shinra was in 7, but I think we will have whatever mining consortium is in charge of this area.
Is it the Blue Mage Consortium?
Yes.
That quest lines?
So they lost the contract, as I recall, but they still exist.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, I didn't complete that quest line, but I went far enough in it that I knew they existed and they're in the New World. So it's probably the same company.
But now this means we might get the Wallachie.
Mm-hmm.
Which is problematic in its own right.
Yeah.
But it's still going to be a limited job.
No. Beastmaster, yeah. I'm ready to play Pokemon.
I'm playing Pokemon right now.
Esha says this could also represent Junon. Thoughts?
My problem is that pillar literally just looks like FF7 remake.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Arden on this one.
I mean, the next one comes out in like a month, so we're pretty much there.
Red 13 where? New playable race.
We don't need what that would do to all the Rule 34 sites.
What if the Mikote in glasses is a Turk?
And secondly, if they were to put Red 13 into here, everyone would lose their goddamn minds. And then we wouldn't get the tragic backstory of, how his father sacrificed himself, making us all cry. That's what I play this game for. I pay for emotional damage and trauma.
Do you think we'll get another astronomy lesson in Cosmo Canyon?
Maybe.
I mean, Laveva's got lessons out the ass, so probably.
AC says, what if the Mikote in glasses is a Turk?
Could be.
That would be cool. I mean, they don't just put heroes on these posters, and so maybe it's likely that we'll have a couple of villains up here, including Urianger. He's the most insidious one. Oh. He's betrayed us before. He'll do it again.
Yeah, I was about to say, if he goes back to his weird secretive shenanigans, we'll call them, I'm gonna be kind of mad. I do appreciate that the poster isn't just all scions all the time, though.
I agree.
There's a lot of
And
new
just
characters
because-
on there.
Yeah, just because the Scions are on the poster does not mean that they are going to be on our side, at least at the beginning.
Yeah.
Just seeing this in chat. Sorry, Rug, I didn't realize the stream could hear friends playing. Wife's watching it upstairs. Rug said, I will now forever associate Dawntrail with the Friends jingle. Thanks, Bo.
Amazing.
Sorry.
I couldn't hear it,
Yeah.
so I'm surprised.
Maybe the Scions become Shinra. No, the Scions will become the Turks. They'll become the enforcement arm.
Oh god.
Ishtola's going to yeet herself off to the first with the power of Nutkins.
With the power of nut.
I would love that Synodic. New range physical DPS, Barrett gun arm. All you gotta do is lose your arm. Carries on to all other classes. So now, Viper, you have to do the Zorro thing where, you know, you have one arm, so you hold one sword and the other one's in your mouth.
Yeah.
That reminds me about Machinist. Somebody had asked when they were going to get rid of the bucket of tools, and Yoshida said, we're keeping it forever.
Never.
One of the most fun things about Machinist back when it launched to me was being... Most people I played with didn't really look at what the character was doing when you use reassemble, but you literally pull out a wrench and like turn a cog or something on your gun, but it makes the cocking a gun sound. You know, so people just think it's like reloading, but it's actually it's a wrench.
You're tweaking it.
Yeah.
That is actually very funny.
Now, your weapon of choice, it breaks so often you got to turn a wrench every 60 seconds to keep it working. Got to tighten those bolts. Might fall apart.
You're shooting so hard, it's loosening up.
That do be what savage DPS rotations feels like.
Mm-hmm.
True. Especially when you're actually like on point and everything's hitting right and you haven't made any stupid mistakes.
Yes.
And you're like, I am a god of DPS or whatever you're doing.
Yes. Speaking of I am a god, I still kind of want 14 to like kind of do what 11 did and have the Warrior of Light temporarily become a god, but like do it in a different way where we have to like get our ass beat.
That would be interesting. I still think we're moving towards the Warrior of Light being a fully rejoined person and looping back, and it's a big time loop.
I think
Final
you're right,
Fantasy
Cobb.
1.
That's stuck with me since you brought it up years ago. Jesus.
Yeah.
Years ago now.
I've been thinking about that too.
That's what I was
I've
really-
actually written like that concept a little bit in fanfic to play around with it because I do think that it's more likely than not.
I just am really glad we didn't have a soul nomming session with the 13th storyline.
Yet.
Because I got the impression that Golbez, the original Golbez, was a shard of the Warrior of Light.
Yeah, same.
Or like temporarily becoming their unsundered self to wreck someone's life. Yeah.
just in a few other shards, a few people say, "Oh, I'm feeling so lightheaded." Lie down and take a nap while their souls get borrowed, just for a moment, just for a bit.
Rook says non-14 players are always amused when I describe the machinist using a gun and suitcase as weapons. Clearly, they have not played Star Rail, which is full of that.
The one thing that I've been struggling with, Cobb, with that hypothesis, it's not that it's not correct. I actually think you're right. But in an MMO environment, we're never going to reach the final expansion. You know, like we can pretend, but
Yes.
probably this game will go on in some manner. You know, it could be 10 or 12 years past whenever the day comes that we may leave. I mean, these games last for damn ever.
Yeah,
So
I'm
when
saying
they,
more to the point,
yeah,
like you may not. They eventually things will peter out, but they may not know. Oh well, okay, this is the one where sponsors subscribers are going to be too low, and we're going to put it on maintenance mode. You're only going to know after it's out,
right?
And you've already formulated the story.
And so to say that
I'm
this
really
is when
curious
we
what
all
their
rejoin.
maintenance mode threshold would be.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know.
Because if you think about
Yeah,
it,
no idea.
11 only went into maintenance mode last year, but it's still technically getting updates every month.
Yeah, but as far as I know, like the story updates stopped.
This might be one of those weird things where it's ultimately
Yes.
true, Cobb, but there's no way for them to put it in the narrative because that would end the game. You know, to square.
I mean,
to
I will
square
say
the
Well,
circle.
there's always
eventually-
Final Fantasy 17. The way I honestly think they would approach it if they went that route is, and they like actually wanted to expand upon it, is they would either make a spin-off game that's solo, like single player, or they would just make it the concept for the next Final Fantasy MMO.
I'm thinking it's a future-based short story, you know, and we just get our
They
game
could.
forever.
Can I complain about something meta?
Yeah, please. That's what we're here for.
So
Yes.
they announced that the next raid series will be, I believe the Alliance raid series will be Final Fantasy 11
Correct.
based. So why
Yes.
haven't they merged the subs yet?
Yes, that should have been announced at JP. I don't know what the hell they're doing. Yes, I'm mad about it. No, I don't play it. It doesn't make sense. I would probably play it every now and again if it was like a $5 ad to the game. I don't care. It doesn't
I
have to
would
be the same
absolutely
fee.
play it.
Like not. Why are we paying full price for this game? It's nuts.
Yeah, I'm playing both games right now still.
And it may be worth it for you, and it may actually be monetarily worth it. But this many years hence, I don't understand why we're paying full price for 11 if we want to play it. I don't get it.
Especially since it's not getting updated.
It should have
story
F2P free to play mode for sure. I mean, it really genuinely should, just like EQ did when it was at what was that studio's name?
Oh,
It was
Sony
after-
Online
It was
Entertainment.
after they left Sony Online Entertainment.
Daybreak.
At Daybreak, they had a joint sub. Well, they may have had it before as well, but they had a joint sub that was like a gold tier where you gained access to all of their old titles.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, for $10 to play 7-8 different games, even if they're old, that's fine. But I don't know why we'd be paying 15 to pay. You see what I mean? It's fine for you, but
Yeah.
they really need to join the
Yeah.
subs, and there was
Yeah.
a time when they were.
Yeah. Like, I would obviously vastly prefer the subs to be just combined. I will say there is a very impressive number of people playing, even when you take into account the people who are just playing and paying for 6 characters so that they can multi-box to solo content. Like, there are actually a lot of people playing, and there was a huge spike in people playing on my server when the Alliance raid was announced. The past like 4 months, so many people have just been showing up trying 11 for the first time.
They're probably banking on that.
The other month,
Yeah.
I actually did play. I mean, Arden's tried to get me on it a couple times, but last month I got 2 or 3 friends, and I didn't get super far, but we spent probably 20, 30 hours in it in a month, and it was fun as hell.
I've got
It
a
was super
friend.
fun.
He's on Wings of the Goddess now, and he's like the whole Thundering thing, Split Souls, everything. That's from 11.
Yeah, so this
Yep.
is one downside. Playing 11 will make you angry.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
playing 11 will make you angry as fuck.
Please tell me more. I
I've
want to
been
be
playing
mad.
with
When
my
Arden
partner
showed me
and
the
the whole
screenshot
time.
of the character Izael from 11
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
pictures of differently named
that kind of
and
angry.
Hoshafan.
That makes you're right. Now I'm upset. Tell me more.
Differently named, very similarly aesthetic. You know, a black-haired elf and a
Yep.
white-haired elf. You know.
Yep. Yeah, and like one of the really funny things about playing with my partner for 11 and taking them through it for their first time is they've just constantly been like, why is 11 just 14 but better? And then it gradually transitioned to, why is 14 just 11 but worse?
Oof.
So obviously, the presentation and storytelling in 14 is superior. They got much better at these techniques, and it's a better product. I don't know if it's a better game. There's a lot of depth to 11, and I think it's arguable. Like, it's almost like if you want an action RPG, even though it's, you know, but if we're speaking generally, Final Fantasy's a more ARPG style hotbar MMO, and 11's this old relic, right?
I have another way to compare it to. Final Fantasy 14 is a theme park MMO. If you like those, great, fantastic. 11 is a sandbox MMO.
Yeah.
So if you like being able to tinker around with builds and have lots of random shit that you can do, 11 will probably be more fun, and the fact that it has over 20 years of content that you can play that is still relevant, because artifact armor and all of the job-specific armors that are like signature to the class are actually like upgradable to endgame and are really important. Like, there's a lot of just staying power with the way 11 is designed compared to 14.
During Endwalker, Arden showed me a screenshot of a bard spell called the Song of Hope entering your inventory. I think I'm remembering that correctly. So
it was part of a story cutscene. But yes, it's literally called Song of Hope, and it's part of the main story.
Did you rise up through the night though?
Basically, if I remember correctly, that was the part where I turned into a god and my future self also turned into a god, and we punched each other until we made the universe.
It ended with
the
punching.
Cloud of darkness
It
away.
ended with punching.
Yes. There's literally this long ass cutscene of your character and your character's future self as the god of light and the god of dark, punching the ever living shit out of each other through the sky and through space. So that the power of your punches hitting each other causes these massive shockwave reverberations, which are necessary
so Dragon Ball Z,
to scare off the cloud of darkness, because the cloud of darkness is responsible for the emptiness.
So the cloud is
the fight between
universe.
It's the fight between Hydaelyn and Zodiark.
Yes, it is. I was hyped, but I was also pissed as hell.
Cobb's been silent. Yes, it's a deep annoying.
I have been silent. My
Cobb is looking up how to subscribe to Final Fantasy.
No,
I mean, you would in fact need a guide in order to subscribe to 11.
Arden is actually absolutely right in that it is a sandbox MMO, and everything that comes along with that, including finding the main story.
Yeah, finding it
is incredibly hard.
No quest markers, guys. Gotta go chat these people up.
Where was
because it's a sandbox
again? I haven't played it in a week.
Yeah, because it's a sandbox MMO, you literally have to play the game with like 10 tabs across 2 different wikis open.
So what was said in chat earlier about it's not solo friendly. It's not user friendly is the thing.
It's extremely solo friendly.
It is solo friendly.
It's not user friendly.
It's not user friendly.
Yeah. It's okay. It's user friendly if you go to the effort of setting up or having a friend help you set up all of the add-ons that have come out across the years. There's this very quiet culture, even from Square employees with 11, of just like, yeah, the UI is shit and we can't really fix it, so go ahead and use the forbidden technology. Because a lot of people, 11 is unplayable for a lot of people, especially if they're wanting to play on mouse and controller.
It's borderline unplayable.
Or mouse and keyboard,
I
I mean.
agree with you.
Yeah.
It's a console game.
On controller, without add-ons, 11's fine.
If you have the right controller.
But even then,
which by the way is a PlayStation
then, it's still better with
when I started 14,
add-ons.
I played it with a controller because of 11, because I still had nightmares about it.
Mm-hmm.
Fair.
So what is, I hate to be the ignorant one, but what is GOTG?
Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
Oh, wasn't this Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Maybe? I feel like a dumbass.
I don't know. I'm bad at acronyms.
I haven't seen that one.
I see. If that's the case, I didn't know we were hopping over to Marvel here. Which is fine, but that's why I was confused. Maybe they'll clarify.
There's probably a bit of a delay as well.
Yeah, no doubt. If you give me 11 for $5 a month, I would consider adding it on. No question. It's fun enough to mess around on for sure, especially since I missed that game, you know.
They clarified the two godlikes punching each other. Unfortunately, I have not seen Guardians of the Galaxy 2, so I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I can see it. It's hardly something unique to that, though.
Yeah, it's also well, it's an anime trope for sure.
Oh yeah, I was thinking Dragon Ball Z in my head.
Yeah, I mean it is. I think last week I posted the video of like the final Naruto episode, comparing it to the Xenos and Warrior of the Light punch fest at the end of Endwalker. Oh, Esha, you're Zent. Cool. Good to know. Yeah, man. Oh, dang. Time flew. It's almost 3:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Indeed.
We're about at closing time.
Yeah, this has been fun. Yeah, Kurt Russell is the planet.
Oh, yeah.
guy.
Yeah, the planet guy.
Yeah. I don't know my Marvel so good.
Yeah, Zent says I'm still around, but I turned Discord off and haven't been back in a while. Probably should with Dawntrail coming. Absolutely. We're slowly coming back from a very long break. We're still not sure about scheduling for the show, so, but I wanted to at least get a show on the air here because it's been a long time, and Cobb actually encouraged us to meet up with FanFest having just finished up, and you know, hype levels coming back a bit, but we still have a long wait. So
we do, but I'm actually hyped and I'm excited and I'm motivated, and so I'm gonna write up some scripts.
Sounds good. We all got our lore books, I think. The Encyclopedia version 3.
Yes.
So mine's in the upstairs desk, but I've got mine right on hand. And we've got patch content in a day, tomorrow. So we may actually have something to do as players here. I'm definitely going to log in tomorrow morning. So, but I hope everyone has had a good fall and beginning of winter, and we'll try to get another show up here in a little bit.
Yeah, we still didn't even cover thoughts on the Arcadian, so next time maybe.
Yeah,
we have not covered the graphics card raid. Rave. Yeah, there's a lot to talk about, so we'll be talking about a lot of stuff in the coming months.
All right.
Like the lore book alone has so much stuff to talk about.
Yeah, maybe we can pick a few topics. Maybe we can pick a few things out of the lore book and get a show up next time.
Yeah, like how Vanna's a criminal.
Yeah, I love that. I love that quote.
That's
so
the only
funny.
new thing we learned about her.
But we already knew that, though.
I know, but now it's like
now it's canon.
And entering.
You got to steal stuff to save/destroy the world. All right.
When I was playing Endwalker, I saw Medion, and I was like, she has wings on her head. Heidelin has wings on her head. Did they use this poor child as the concept?
Oh no.
That was my initial
poor
impression.
child.
Someday I'll post my playthrough of it. I still have it, and I still haven't posted it all. But that was my initial reaction. Was like, oh no, this is not going to end well. It didn't, but not in the way I thought.
Boy, what a mess that was. Well, if you ever find yourselves in Hermes' shoes, don't do what he did.
Yeah, leave the world for Ultima to destroy. Don't do it yourself.
Yeah, wouldn't you rather be ruled?
You'll get blamed. People will tear you apart on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny. All right, guys. Well, I'll shut down the show. Thank you all for coming out. I'm really happy that we had so much engagement today. I'm pleasantly surprised. We'll try to have some content for you in a little while, and we'll be in touch. So check out the Discord, keep chatting with us, and we'll talk to you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.